All right, we are live, and I'll go ahead and share this link. Hi to whoever just joined. All right. We'll get started in about 6 minutes. So we'll start at 9. I'm just going to step out for a moment, but we'll get started in about 5 minutes. Whoever's on, we'll get started in just a few minutes. Whether you're watching this live now or if you're catching it on the replay, I hope everyone had a good week, a relaxing week. There was a snowstorm here, So that was very fun, but the weather's been nicer now. So excited to, enjoy some warm weather now that we've got the snow out of the way, hopefully. We'll just wait another minute. All right, it is 9 a.m., so let's get started. So we're going to start our Vinyasa practice today with a little centering and grounding. So start with a comfortable seat on your mat. I like to put a little pillow or something under my hips, a little lift at the beginning of class. And find your alignment here, head over heart, heart over hips. Hands can come to the knees, palms down. If you want to feel a little more grounded this morning, palms up if you feel like you need to receive a little more energy today. Go ahead, let your eyes come to a soft gaze on the floor in front of you, or flutter all the way closed. Starting with the crown of the head, let's take a scan of the body. Taking your time here. Just move through and take note of how you're feeling today, right now. Are you feeling any different than you felt yesterday or the last time you came to your mat? Are there any points of tension in the body? No need to manipulate or change anything. Just take note, check in, and connect with where you're at in this moment. When you finish scanning the body, bring your attention to the breath, the rise and the fall of the belly with every inhale and every exhale. To start, we won't change anything, but just observe the breath as it naturally comes. How long are your inhales and your exhales? Just take note of where your breath naturally is in this moment. Now start to lengthen either your inhale or your exhale to match the other so that you have equal inhales and exhales. So if you're breathing in for 4 counts, you're breathing out for 4 counts. Beautiful yogis. Go ahead and lengthen your breaths by just 1 count. So wherever you are, wherever that natural breath is, just lengthen that by 1 count on both the inhale and the exhale. And on your next inhale and exhale, we're going to extend those breaths just one more second. So have this be the fullest, deepest breath you've taken so far, fully expanding the belly and in through the lungs. And a full exhale. Maintain this deep breath for the next few cycles of breath. Completely filling up with every inhale and completely emptying with every exhale. On your next inhale, you'll hold at the top for just a moment before exhaling. So it'll be a full breath in, hold, and a full exhale. And we'll continue with a few breaths, holding at the top. Wherever you are, exhale all your stale air out. Keep your eyes closed or at a soft gaze and come back to a regular breath pattern, whatever that means to you. And just take a moment here to check in. Are you feeling any different than you did when you first sat down at the mat? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. It doesn't matter. Just check in with how you're feeling right now. If you choose to practice with an intention, this is a good moment to seal that in, repeating the intention to yourself. If intentions are not your thing, just go ahead and keep observing the breath here for a moment. Find whatever works for you. Let's take one final inhale all together with a loud open mouth exhale. Inhale through the nose. And loud open mouth exhale. Beautiful yogis. You can let your eyes flutter open. And let's get started with some gentle movement. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. And exhale, arms come out and down like you're reaching away from each other and pushing down through water or jello or something with resistance. Inhale, arms pop back up. And exhale down. I always want to say jello, but I don't really like jello, so I'll leave it up to you. Inhale up. Exhale, arms float down. Beautiful. Inhale, arms come all the way up. This time, drop the right hand to the floor and bring the left hand across. Plant the left hip point down toward the mat for a full side body stretch here. If you want a little more, you can slightly turn your sternum up toward the ceiling and bring your gaze to the ceiling as well. If you want to feel a little more through the side, you can come down to the forearm. But make sure if you come down to the forearm, you're planting that left hip or that left hip point down into the mat. Beautiful. Whatever variation you took, come on back up to the center. Bring the other arm up to meet the left and let the left float down. Bring the right hand up overhead. Again, option to turn the sternum slightly up toward the ceiling. And the gaze can follow. Maybe you want to come down to the forearm. Listen to your body. We're just in the beginning of practice, just warming up. So This is your time to take what you need, even if it's not necessarily what I'm telling you. And come on back up. Beautiful. We're going to move in through cat-cow variation. So go ahead, if you've taken a pillow or a cushion, remove that from underneath your hips. We're going to start in a neutral tabletop. So plant wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, drop the belly for cow pose. Shine the chest forward. Hip points come back and up. Exhale, curl through the spine, tuck the tailbone, chin comes to chest for cat pose. Let's take a few of those traditional cat-cows on the breath, moving through at a flow. So we'll inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, curl through the spine. Inhale, drop. Exhale, curl through the spine. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, curl through the spine. Now, feel free to continue taking traditional cat-cow, or if you feel like your body needs a little something more, take any variation of cat-cow you'd like. So maybe you want to plant your hips toward your heels and come through forearms and baby cobra in these big circles. Maybe you want to go side to side. Maybe there's a different motion. Thread the needle. Take whatever you need right here and listen to your body. Don't forget to maintain your breath, those deep breaths we worked on at the beginning of class. If you've taken something on one side, go ahead and take it on the other, evening it out. There's nothing worse than having only one side stretched. Beautiful. Let's meet back in a neutral tabletop position. You can tuck your toes under, find wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to fire up the belly a little bit. Squeeze the belly button toward the spine. Press down into the hands. And just a heads up if you're looking at me for cues. I'm going to cue everything verbally, but I'm working through a wrist injury, so I might not be doing everything with you. Press down in through the fingers to press up. You want the upper back to slightly dome, not like a huge dome, but just enough so that you're pressing down into your hands to lift the body up off the arms. You want to feel really engaged. Belly button toward the spine. Beautiful. Keeping all of those things engaged, toes still tucked under. We're going to exhale and lift the knees about 2 inches up off the ground. And we'll hold here for 4, 3. Keep actively pushing up through the hands. 1, and drop the knees down. You can take a little counter movement here. Rock the hips side to side, whatever you need. And let's meet back in a neutral tabletop. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to do the same thing. So take your time to set up. Claw through the knuckles, press down into the ground to feel your body, your upper body engage. Squeeze belly button to spine and lift the knees. 4, 3, 2, 1. And drop the knees back down. Take whatever counter stretch you need here. I kind of like to rock my hips back and forth like I'm wagging a tail that I don't have. And we'll take it one last time. Remember to set up, press up, engage the body, belly button to spine, and lift the knees for 4, 3. We're not going to go down this time. This time we'll push back up into downward facing dog. Hip points move back and up. Press down in through the hands. Press into the knuckles to take pressure off the wrist. Hip points move back and up. And take some time to pedal your downward dog here. So bend in the right knee, bend in the left knee. We're still just warming up. It's our first down dog of class. Give yourself what you need. Listen to your body. Maybe roll onto those balls of the feet. Bend the knees. Bring the hip points up. And then straighten the legs. Let the heels drop. Maybe lift one leg and then lift the other. Beautiful. Bend both knees, look toward your hands, and then walk your feet behind your wrists. We'll take a rag doll here. Hinge at the hips. You can have the knees slightly bent if that feels good. Rock the head. Maybe reach for opposite elbows. Really have everything from the hips up slack. So everything's just hanging. We'll shake your head. Yes, no, maybe. We'll roll all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head and neck, last thing to come up. Beautiful. Inhale, arms sweep up toward the ceiling. Let's take a little sun A here. So exhale, drop the arms down, and then we'll start. Inhale, arms sweep up toward the ceiling. Exhale, twist to the right. Drop the left hand forward, right hand back, and twist to the right side of the room. Keep your hips square to the front. Inhale, arms sweeps back up. Exhale, twist the opposite direction. Right arm comes forward, left arm comes back. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, swan dive forward, all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. You can bring the hands to the shins or the thighs if that feels good. Find a flat back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Look down at the mat in front of you. Crown of the head reaches toward the front of your mat. Tailbone actively reaches toward the back of your mat. And exhale, plant the hands, step back into your high plank. Squeeze belly button to spine, squeeze elbows into the sides as you slowly lower down to low plank. Hover about 2 inches above the ground. Beautiful. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shine the chest forward. Engage the legs so much that the knees come up off the ground. So you're just pressing into hands and tops of feet. Chest opens to the front. And we'll move back through downward facing dog. Hip points come back and up. Beautiful. Let's take that same sun A flow breath to movement 2 times. Inhale, look toward the hands. Exhale, walk your feet behind your wrists. Press down through the feet. We'll roll all the way up. Exhale, arms at your sides. Inhale, arms sweep up toward the ceiling. Exhale, twist on the right, left hand comes forward. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, twist on the left, right hand comes forward. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, head and tailbone reach in opposite directions. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. Plant the hands, come into your high plank, elbows squeeze into the sides, and lower to your low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Know that anytime we take a chaturanga, a plank to high plank to low plank, option always to drop your knees down and do it from there. Option to lower all the way to the belly and come up through baby cobra. You know your practice better than I do, so I'm going to cue chaturanga, but know that you can take whatever variation feels good. So let's take that last sun A breath to movement. Inhale, look toward your hands. Exhale, walk your feet behind your wrists. Inhale, roll up, planting the feet down into the ground. Exhale, shoulder blades melt together and down the back. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, twist on the right to keep the hips square to the front. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, twist on the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, pinch the shoulder blades together. Exhale, plant the hands, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work, yogis. Let's move in through a sun B. So we're in our downward facing dog right now. Hip points back and up. Take just a moment to set here. Inhale, look toward the hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump your feet behind your wrists. Inhale, chair pose. Sweep the arms all the way up, fingertips shooting forward, and sit back into your chair. Knees should track above the ankles. Engage the core. You can tuck your chin just slightly to find length in the back of the neck. See if you can sit 1 inch deeper. Pull the belly button back toward the spine. Squeeze your thighs together. Squeeze your glutes together. You got this. Press all 4 corners of the feet into the mat. And release the hands all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, find a flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Pin those elbows into the sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high from your down dog. Exhale, sweep the right leg in between the hands, low lunge. That's our first low lunge, so take a second here. You can rock back and forth. You can roll, straighten and bend that front leg, rolling onto the heel, whatever you feel like you need here. Plant the left hand down into the ground and lift the right hand up toward the ceiling for a twist to the right. And beautiful. Drop that hand back down. We'll open up to a warrior 2 on the right. Swivel the back heel down to parallel the mat. Engage the abs and bring the arms all the way up, reaching in opposite directions. Track the front knee toward the front pinky toe. Actively squeeze the thighs together. Gaze falls on the front fingertips. And then we'll take an extended side angle here. Hinge forward about 2 inches. Then you'll tuck the hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Maintain the bend in that front knee. Really work to open the chest up to the side wall. I like to use my bottom hand, the back of my hand, pressing into my foot as leverage to twist open. You can even manually take that left hand and use it to pull the hip open. And we'll take a reverse warrior, maintain the foundation in the legs, but we'll switch which arms are up in the air. Left hand falls to rest on top of back thigh. Right hand shoots up in the air. Maybe back a little bit, but remember this is more about lengthening the side body than it is about crunching and getting low. Keep those thighs actively working, feet pressing down into the mat. Beautiful. Cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot and step back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Plant the right hand, lift the left hand high. Take some time, really twist here. And drop the left hand down. I forgot to give you a little time to get into this pose, so then take that right here. You can rock back and forth, straightening and bending that front knee. Beautiful. Swivel the back heel down to parallel the back of your mat, and we'll move through a warrior 2 on the left. Arms reach in opposite directions. Belly button moves back and up. Arms actively reach in opposite directions. Extended side angle, hinge forward, and tuck those hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Maintain the bend in that front knee. Work to open up the body to the side. Even manually taking that right hand and pulling the hip back and open. Reverse warrior. Float the left hand up, right hand falls on the back of the leg. Maintain the bend in that front knee. Don't let the legs get lazy here. Use the legs as foundation. So as you press down with the feet, you press the thighs together. Use that as leverage to let the upper body float up and find length. And cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot, and we'll step back into downward facing dog. So from your downward facing dogs, we're gonna take that whole flow, breath to movement 2 times. So let's get started. Inhale, look toward your hands. Exhale, step walk or jump your feet behind your wrists. Inhale, chair pose, arms sweep up. See if you can sit 1 inch lower than you sat last time. Exhale to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank, pin the elbows into the sides. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Hip points move back and up. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the right. Inhale, plant the left hand. Exhale, right hand floats up for a twist. Inhale, hand floats back down. Exhale, swivel the back heel down. Warrior 2 on the right. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, tuck the hands, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior, right hand floats up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Inhale, plant the right hand. Exhale, lift the left hand high. Inhale, drop back down. Exhale, warrior 2 on the left, swivel the back heel down. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, tuck those hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Inhale, reverse warrior, left hand floats up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot and step back into your downward facing dog. Let's take it one last time. Inhale, look toward your hands. Exhale, step, hop, or jump your feet behind your wrists. Inhale, chair pose. See if you can sit 1 inch deeper than you did last time. Exhale, release the hands to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, shine the chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, hip points move back and up. Inhale, shoot the right leg upward. Exhale, low lunge on the right. Inhale, drop the left hand down. Exhale, twist on the right. Right hand shines up toward the ceiling. Inhale, arm floats back down. Exhale, come all the way up to warrior 2 on the right. Inhale, hinge slightly forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Tuck the hands to 6 and 12. Inhale, reverse warrior. Float that right hand up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Inhale, plant the right hand. Exhale, twist on the left. Left hand floats. Inhale, hand floats back down. Exhale, come on up to your warrior 2 on the left. Inhale, hinge slightly forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Tuck those hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Inhale, reverse warrior, left hand floats up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Step back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful yogis. Inhale, look toward your hands, bend your knees, and exhale, bring the knees all the way down to the mat, and we'll sit down. So we're gonna move through a little ab series here. So go ahead and let your hips drop to one side, and let your legs come out in front of you. We're going to start with just a traditional Navasana or boat pose. So start off by really planting those hip points down into the mat so they'll shoot down. Use that as leverage to push your upper body up. So you want to find length in the spine. So you're pressing down through the hips to uncrunch that lower back. Top of the head reaches up toward the ceiling. You can grab for hands underneath your thighs. Shoulder blades squeeze together and down the back. Belly button comes back toward your spine. And then we're going to slowly come up onto the toes. Maybe this is enough for you today. If you want to take it a little further, maybe lift the toes. You can parallel the shins. You can straighten the legs if that's in your practice. You can release the arms to the sides. Whatever you need today. Just remember, if the back starts to crunch, you've gone too far. I'd rather have your toes stay on the ground and have your back be long and lengthened than be crunched and have your feet up to the ceiling. Beautiful yogis. If your thighs want to come apart, actively glue them together. And drop the toes to the ground, plant the hands behind you, and you can drop the knees from side to side. Let's take that one more time. So plant the hip points down. We'll come onto the toes, gluing those inner thighs together, lengthening through the spine. Maybe take the variation you took last time. Maybe take something a little different. Maybe follow me to make this a little bit more active. So on the inhale, we'll lower all the way down. Legs hover off the ground, upper body and arms hover. And on the exhale, coming back into our boat pose. Inhale, lowering. Exhale, coming up. The temptation is going to be to do it quickly and make it like a down, up, down, up. It's so much harder and you get so much more out of it if you move slowly and intentionally. So we'll inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come back up. And make note of when your body wants to slow or to speed up. If you're slowly coming all the way to the top and then you go quick at the end, try to stay the same tempo. Sometimes the places where it's hardest to move slow are the places we need it the most. Beautiful. Wherever you are, plant the knee or the feet down. Let the knees drop from side to side. A little windshield wiper motion here. Beautiful. We're going to sweep the legs around. We'll come back to our tabletop position. From here, we're going to do a little more ab work. So we're going to start how we started before. So press down in through the hands to lift up off the hands. Really squeeze. Really take your time to get in touch here with your foundation. Belly button moves back toward the spine. And now plant the left hand. So drop your weight into the left hand and to the right knee. Float the left leg back, foot flexed, toes pointed toward the ground. Keep your hips level. Your hips going to want to stack. Keep them level. And if this feels good, let the right hand float up. Gaze falls down toward the mat. You can hold static here. Or on the exhale, bring it knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it together. Remember, going slowly with deep breaths is more challenging and you'll get more out of it than moving quickly. Use those breaths we fostered at the beginning of class. You've got them. I know you can do it. And bring your hands back to the ground in tabletop position. Let's take a little drunk cat-cow in between here. So bring the big toes to touch, the knees to the outside of the mat. You can crawl your hands forward. And we're going to take some circles with the body. So first come all the way up toward the left side, and then come forward, and then back down the other way. So you're hitting a child's pose every time you come down, but you're circling around. And then let's take it the other way. Beautiful. And we'll come back to our tabletop position. And we'll do the same thing. I'm going to cue the other side, but I'm going to do it on the same side because I have a wrist injury. So if you're watching for cues, don't let that confuse you. So go ahead, plant the hands, really set up here. Press down through the hands to lift. Don't let the chest concave. Keep it active and up. Plant down through the right hand and the left knee. And then let the right leg come up, square the hips, flex the foot. And then let the left arm lift up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come in, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Remembering to look down at the floor in front of you and keep your movements and your breaths long, slow, and intentional. Beautiful. And go ahead, come back down to neutral tabletop. We're going to come into a puppy pose here. So come down to the forearms and put your elbows where your hands were. So right underneath your shoulders. And bring your hip points back and up as you let your chest melt down toward the mat. You can crawl the fingertips forward once you're down and you feel like you need a little more. Option here to dome the palms and engage the forearms. So the arms will lift up off the mat and you'll be up on your fingers. You can keep it static. If you want a little movement, you can rock the hips side to side. And then we'll move back through our neutral tabletop. Again, press down in through the hands, keep it active. Belly button moves up, tuck the toes under, and let the hips come back toward the heels, and then move the hip points back and up slowly into your downward facing dog. And take just a second here in your down dog. Press through the wrists, hip points move back and up. You can pedal it out a little bit. And check in with yourself. Does this down dog feel a little different than the first down dog of class? Maybe yes, maybe no. That doesn't matter. Just matters to be connected and to be checked in with where you're at right now. So let's move through another little flow. So from our downward facing dog, we'll inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the right. We'll move up in through a crescent lunge. So here, really set yourself up. Square those hips. Peel the left hip crease forward, the right hip crease back. Thighs seal in toward each other. Belly button comes up toward spine and arms float forward. You can manually square the hips with the hands. Arms float up here. From here, we'll open all the way up toward the right. So take a little twist. Left hand slides forward, right hand comes back. Maintain the straight back and forthness of the lower body as the upper body twists. Beautiful. Make sure you're bent so that the knee is over top of the ankle. And we'll open up to a warrior two on the right. So arms sweep up, swivel the back heel to parallel the back of the mat. And we'll come here to our warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Let the left hip fall backward. And we'll find a triangle pose. Tick-tock the hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Press down through the feet, engage the legs, and then use that bottom hand as leverage to open the side body up. Beautiful. And we'll cartwheel the hands all the way down and walk them out in front, paralleling the feet. Find a little stretch here. Find whatever feels good. So maybe you want to reach for opposite feet. Maybe you want to reach back behind you. Maybe you want to take a bind here to open up the chest. Bring the hands back behind the hips, interlace fingers, and shoot the knuckles up toward the ceiling. Beautiful. And release the hands back down to the ground. You're going to come up onto your fingertips, engage your abs, squeeze belly button towards spine, and slight bend in knees will slowly come all the way up. Press down into the balls of your feet and move the heels inward. And we'll sit down into a high squat or horse pose. Really take your time getting here. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, sink a little deeper. You can really put your weight, the weight of your hands into the tops of your thighs. Press all four corners of the feet down into the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, drop the right shoulder forward, the left shoulder back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, go the opposite way. Left shoulder comes forward, right shoulder comes back. Inhale, back to center. We'll turn the feet in. Come all the way back down to the ground. Beautiful. Crawl the hands to frame the front foot. And step back into a high plank. So from high plank, first check your, I'm going to take it from forearms, but you guys take it from your hands. So check that your wrists are underneath your shoulders, that your body is one line coming from the heels to the hips to the head, so nothing's lifted or lowered. And we'll roll into a side plank. Roll onto the left hand, shoot the right hand up toward the ceiling, stack the feet. Maybe drop that bottom knee down for a little support. Lift the hips 1 inch higher. And we'll come back to a plank and downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's take the same thing on the left. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the left. We'll take a crescent lunge on the left. Arms float up, square the hips, and twist on the left. Make sure you keep the legs in place, upper body twists. Inhale, open all the way up to a warrior two on the left. And we'll take that triangle, straighten the front leg, sass that back hip backward, and tick-tock to 6 and 12 o'clock. If you need a block here to hold on to, if you want to hold on to your ankle, that's okay. Engage and open that side body up. Keep the legs active. And then we'll float the hands down and come back to center. So wide-legged forward fold here. And you can take the same stretch you took on the other side. you can take something a little different. If you're taking the bind again, make sure you interlace your fingers the other way. So the opposite thumb is on top, the weird way. All right. And let your arms float down in front of you. Come up onto your fingertips. Slight bend in the knees. We'll come all the way up. Press into the balls of the feet to bring the heels in together. And we'll sit back down into a high squat. This time, we're going to lift the right leg, or the right heel rather, and then drop the right heel. Lift the left heel. Keep those cores engaged and drop it. And then go ahead, lift both heels. Squeeze belly button to spine. Drop back down. Beautiful. We're going to come back forward into our wide-legged forward fold. Crawl the hands forward to frame the front foot. We'll step back into our high plank. Wrists underneath shoulders. Really find your plank before you move into your side plank. So stack the feet, float the left hand up, right hand pressing down to the ground. Lift the hips 1 inch higher. Woo. If you fall like I just did, that's okay. And roll back onto your plank and back into your downward facing dog. So we're going to move through that whole thing 2 times, breath to movement. I'm going to cue it, so don't worry, because I know it was a long one. And let's get started. Just remember, I'm not always going to be doing it with you, but I'll always be cueing it. Beautiful. We'll start downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the right. Inhale, crescent lunge, arms lift up. Exhale, twist to the right, left arm comes forward. Inhale, arms flow up and open to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten that front leg, sass the back, hip back, and exhale, tick-tock the hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Inhale, open the side body up. Exhale, hands float down and in front, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, find length in the spine. And exhale, come all the way up to a high squat. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, right shoulder comes forward, left shoulder back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left shoulder comes back or forward. Inhale, back to center. And we'll exhale, melt all the way down, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, crawl back to frame the front foot. Exhale, come back to your high plank. Inhale once in plank. Exhale, come to your side plank, rolling onto the left hand. Right hand comes up in the air. Inhale once here. Exhale, we'll come back to our high plank. Inhale and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, down dog, lift the left foot high. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Inhale, crescent lunge on the left, arms float up. Exhale, twist to the left, right hand comes forward. Inhale, warrior 2 on the left, open all the way up. Exhale, triangle pose. Front leg straightens, hips, asses back. Exhale, tick-tock hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Inhale, open the side body up. Exhale, hands come all the way down and forward to a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, come all the way up. We'll find our high squat. Inhale, right heel raises. Exhale, drops. Inhale, left heel raises. Exhale, drops. Inhale, both heels. Exhale, drop. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, crawl back forward to frame the front foot. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, find your plank. And exhale, come to your side plank, left hand up in the air. Inhale once here. Exhale, back down to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take that whole thing one more time, breath to movement. You can follow me and follow my cues, or if you feel solid and you want to follow your own breath, go ahead and feel free to do that. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the right. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, open up to warrior two. Exhale, straighten the front leg, sass that back hip backward, triangle pose. Inhale, open up to the side. Exhale, arms float down to center, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, come all the way up, high squat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist right, shoulder drops forward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left shoulder drops forward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, melt down, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, crawl to the front, frame the front foot. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, find your plank. Exhale, side plank, left hand planted, right hand lifts. Inhale once here. Exhale, come back to high plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, twist, right hand comes forward. Inhale, open up to warrior two on the left. Exhale, we'll find that triangle pose, straighten front leg. Tick-tock the hands. Inhale, open up. Exhale, we'll float all the way down and forward, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, come all the way up, engaging those abs, high squat. Horse pose. Inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, drop it. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, drop it. Inhale, lift both. And exhale, drop both. Inhale, find length. Exhale, we'll melt all the way back down. Inhale, crawl forward to frame the front foot. Exhale, high plank. Inhale in plank and exhale, side plank. Left hand reaches up into the air. Inhale once here. Exhale, back to plank. Inhale in plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, yogis. Let's go into our pigeon pose here. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, pigeon on the right. Bring the right ankle behind the left wrist. You can go ahead and crawl that left foot backward. Really actively work here to square the hips. We'll inhale, pull the right hip crease backward. Exhale, pull the left hip crease forward. Find length in the spine here. If you need to pop a pillow underneath that right hip to keep your hips square, go ahead. And exhale, let's put those pigeons to sleep. Crawl the hands forward. You can come to forearms, you can come to hands, you can come to forehead on fists, or come all the way down to the ground. Keep it active. On every inhale, pull the right hip crease back. And every exhale, pull the left hip crease forward. And slowly walk your hands back to your sides. Tuck the back toes under and we'll press back into our downward facing dog. Either shoot that right leg back up in the air or let it fall down in front of you, kind of shaking it out. And we'll meet back in a static downward facing dog. From the down dog, inhale, left leg floats high. Exhale, pigeon pose on the left. Bring the left ankle behind the right wrist. Crawl that right leg backward. Square the hips. Pull left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Maybe pop a pillow under that left thigh if it doesn't touch the ground. Inhale, find length. Exhale, come forward to hands, forearms, fists, whatever feels good today. Keep it active. Inhale, left hip crease comes back. And exhale, right hip crease comes forward. Beautiful yogis. Walk your hands back to either side of your hips. Tuck those back toes. And we'll push back into our downward facing dog, either shooting the left leg high or letting it float down in front, whatever feels better for you. Beautiful. So we're going to come all the way down to the knees, bend the knees, drop to the knees. We'll flip over onto the hips. You can slide to your mat, bring your hands out in front. We'll come all the way down to the mat. Let's bring the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze. Rock back and forth. Release that low back. Let's take a happy baby here. Stamp the soles of your feet on the ceiling. Reach for backs of your thighs, the calves, or the inner or outer edges of the feet. And take whatever you need here. The most important thing for this one is just make sure your lower back is actively reaching toward the mat. You want that lower back to be flush with the mat. If it comes up at all, just move your hands down. You don't need to grab for the feet. You can grab for the ankles or the thighs. Maybe take some gentle movement here, rocking back and forth. Maybe bend one knee and then the other. Maybe straighten both legs. Go ahead. Hold both knees into your chest. Squeeze left knee, or right knee rather, into your right armpit. Let left leg go long. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, supine twist on the right. Bring the right leg all the way across the body. Stack the hips. Arms open out to the sides. You can let your gaze fall at the ceiling or toward your right fingertips. Option to grab with the left hand the back of the thigh. We're actively working, actively using our muscles for all of class. And we're finally at the part where gravity can do all of the work and we can just surrender to the pose. My favorite part of class. And go ahead. You can bring that knee back into the chest. Give it a little squeeze. Bring the left knee to meet it. Now left knee, left armpit, right leg comes out long. Inhale, reach the knee into the armpit. Exhale, supine twist on the left. Stack the hips. Left leg comes across the body. Arms open up to the sides at a T or at cactus arms if that feels better. Gaze comes to the ceiling or to the left fingertips. Release anything you've been holding on to. There's no need to do any extra work, hold on to any muscles or any thoughts or any feelings that won't serve you in this moment. Gently guide that knee back into the chest. Bring the other knee to meet it. For one last little active push, squeeze both knees into the chest. Bring the forehead all the way up toward the knees. It's okay if they don't touch. And squeeze every muscle in your body for one final push. And exhale, final Shavasana. Let your legs fall open at the sides, feet splayed outward. Palms come to sides, facing the ceiling. Snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you to melt the chest open. Relax your eyebrows, your jaw. Let any tension in the fingers or toes dissipate. As we fully surrender to this final Shavasana. Final Shavasana is yours for as long as you'd like it. If you're not quite ready to be guided out, feel free to shut your laptop or your phone or just ignore me. But if you are ready to be guided out, start to find some gentle movement in your fingers and your toes. Let the head fall from side to side. When you're ready, sweep the arms up overhead, reaching arms and legs in opposite directions for a long full body stretch. Then roll over to your right or left side in fetal position, using the bicep as a pillow. Final Shavasana marks the death of our practice, and fetal pose marks the new life that we bring off of our mats and out into the world with us. Using the strength of your hands, press yourself all the way up to a comfortable seating position. Bring your palms together at heart center. The love, the light, the teacher, and the student in me honors the love, the light, the teacher, and the student in every one of you, whether you're taking it right now or on the replay. Bring your thumbs to third eye center and bow forward. Namaste. Well, thank you for joining today and for taking this practice, this Vinyasa practice. We'll be doing a restorative practice tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central, and these are the regular times that classes are. Have a great Saturday. Namaste.